Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We're driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Always great to talk a little golf. The weather has been outstanding this season. Art McLain, the head coach at Forest City Regional, joining us right now. Well, Art, you have a pretty good team this year. Talk about the talent there at Forest City.
Yeah, thank you, John. We have 3 seniors this year, and they're all really solid players. Adam Kowalewski, Dylan Odell, and Mitchell Blake. And we also have 1 freshman that's outstanding, Chris Bebla. We also have another freshman that's been a very good player for us this year, Colin Ennis. And then our number 6 player, we've kind of rotated with, we have a freshman, Lucas O'Neill. We have a sophomore, Matt Teig. And we have 1 girl on our team. She's a junior, Emily Ocon. But we took 5 of the boys to the pre-districts. They needed to shoot 93 or better. 4 of them qualified there at pre-districts, and Colin Ennis missed by 1 shot. He needed to birdie his last hole. He made a par. So we're also the top school in the Jackman tournament, the top small school. And our senior, Dylan Odell, tied for low senior with Austin Smith, maybe the best player in the league from Montrose. They went into a sudden death playoff, and Austin Smith eagled the first hole at the Strand Muni, made a 3 on the par 5 there, and Dylan had a putt for birdie. I mean, didn't play bad, but and then also our freshman Chris Bebla was second best of all the freshmen, and that's big schools and small schools, so that was pretty good play.
Well, Art, let's talk about the home course. Tell us about how the guys are playing and where it's at.
Okay, the home course is Memorial Links, and that's in Pleasant Mount. It's owned, managed, and maintained by Johnny McAndrew, and it's a 9-hole course. The greens are really very nice. There's a couple blind shots, which can give us a little bit of a home advantage to maybe some of the players that haven't been there previously, or maybe haven't been there as often as we have. But the greens are challenging, and as golf often does, it seems to come down to putting.
Well, Art, you also have a role during the day as the golf pro at the Fern Hall Inn, which is a great course as well. Talk about it's an incredible place, historical, a bed and breakfast, great dining, of course, and the course is pretty darn good as well.
Yeah, thank you, John. They've asked me to be their golf professional. This is my first year here, and we've improved the course, gotten some new machinery, and basically, able to better maintain it. And we have a superintendent, Joe Agnello, who really knows his stuff. We believe we may have the best greens anywhere in northeastern Pennsylvania. That's including country clubs. And the golfers here have, they've really responded to the improvements. We have the price down, we have the quality up, and we've really gotten busy. Actually, the owner today at Kamenitzer said that he thinks perhaps golf is up 400% since last year. So, that's a compliment that we all get pretty much daily on what we do here.
Great to hear that you guys are doing it there at the Fern Hall Inn. Now, how about being a golf professional? Tell us about some of the things, the ins and outs of that and what it's like. You talked to a few along the way, but tell us about your job and what you love about it.
Well, I do love my job, and I'm one of the lucky people that can say that they love what they do. In golf, there's a lot of contradictions, and one of the contradictions is people tend to assume, oh, you're a golf professional, you must play a lot of golf. Well, sometimes we'll go for weeks without playing because we're just basically too busy. But some of the things that I really do enjoy about the job is meeting the people and just trying to help them have a good time basically any way that we can. I really enjoy working with younger people, and through clinics and lessons, we get to meet and help a lot of boys and girls. Actually, through 3 clinics, probably over 300 boys and girls this year.
Well, it's great to hear. And again, starting the game of golf for you. You have a great story to tell. Tell us about when you first started golf, what it was like for you growing up, and I know there was another sport involved for you as a youngster, and then you kind of switched over. Tell us that story.
Yeah, thank you, John. Well, my love was baseball, and I got that from my father and from my grandfather. And in the Little League were still probably some of the funnest days of my life. But I kind of got to a point where, even though I love baseball, I just truly wasn't good enough to be starting on the team and good enough to make the team. But kind of the fun then was lost on baseball, and I had some friends that were playing golf, and they said, well, why don't you try out for the team? Maybe you could play golf on a team. And I kind of, again, made an incorrect assumption that, well, if I could hit a baseball, then a golf ball is going to be pretty easy to hit, just sitting there. And really remember my first swing on a golf course, swinging and probably missing the ball completely by, maybe 4 to 6 inches. And then all of a sudden reality sets in that you realize, oh boy, this is a little bit more challenging than I thought it was going to be. But actually, we had a barber in Moscow on Church Street, and he had on the wall of the barber shop a design of a 9-hole course that he was building that was called Sterling Hills in the little town of Sterling, Pennsylvania. And that was the first golf course that I ever went to, and kind of learned how to play golf there a little bit. And from there, then caddied at Elmhurst Country Club and played a little bit in high school, a little bit for Penn State University at Worthington, joined the Air Force, played in the Air Force, and then was lucky enough to get a job as a golf professional over at Paupack Hills, over by Lackawanna, Paupack.
Well, it's a great story to take us through, Art, that's for sure, and what you're doing. You said you just love working with young kids, and of course, being there at Forest City Regional as the coach. Tell us about your experiences with them, and the kids are responding with a real nice season.
Again, it's my first year as coaching, and previously Mike Heck had coached the team for quite a long time, and in all fairness to Mike, he had done a lot of work and spent a lot of time with the boys and girls there, and we did kind of inherit a really good team coming back this year. They were close last year in the playoffs, but kind of to me a funny story. My first practice, I was 20 minutes late for it because I couldn't find a golf course. It could be a little bit tricky to find there in Pleasant Mount, but without exception, everybody on the team, I mean, they're all the boys and the girl, Emily. They're the type of kids that you'd love to have for your sons and daughters, and they're just really in love with golf, and they're competitive, but they're also, really good sportsmen and very well disciplined and very well mannered and all good students. And it's just a joy to be around them and a joy to be around the golf course.
Well, Art, great to share your stories personally, what you went through as a young golfer, of course, what you're doing there at Forest City, and again, continued success this season and in the future as the golf pro at Fern Hall Inn. We thank you for your time. Thank
you, John. Thanks for all your kind words, and thank you very much for what you do for local sports and for the boys and girls, and really for all of us who love sports. And we appreciate all the time and effort that you put into what you do. It's really appreciated.
A very kind and humble Art McLain joining us here on the John Mendola Show as we talk Forest City Regional Golf. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.